Hello. And this is how the magic happens. That's a pretty cool tree, isn't it? Slider, controller, tripod, and roadie mic. Tree. I think this is deer, maybe. Plenty of trails around here. This way. Maybe there's some footprints around. And I'm trying to be pretty quiet. And back again. So, the woods. Something I should be pretty familiar with. I quite like coming here. I've not made many videos in the woods, and I feel like I don't come here very often anymore. So I'm out today just for to make a YouTube video camping in the woods. It's now, just stop this. It's now autumn, and it's starting to look like it. I was hoping for a bit more yellow, to be honest, but it's definitely autumn. And I've got a new hammock. I haven't hammock camped in about 5 years or so. The last time I hammock camped, I got in my hammock in my garden, fell asleep with some beers and woke up at about 3 AM covered in crisps in the pitch black. Got out, took a piss up the hedge. You're allowed to do that. And got back in, and it was a peaceful night. So today will probably be a bit more like that, but not in my garden. It's here in this lovely woodland. I'm not going to give it away where I am. Plenty of deer tracks around. All these paths are deer, and you can see in the undergrowth here that there is big flattened areas, and I've seen them up here a few times before. Roe deer and munkjack deer. So a bit later on tonight, closer to sunset, and then tomorrow morning at sunrise, hopefully we'll get a sighting. I've got my long lens, so primarily today I'm going to be shooting on. Someone gave me the idea, Rich gave me the idea to film a bit more with my slider. It's a motorized slider, GVM, great video maker. How good does that sound? It's a fairly cheap and cheerful slider. It's just a couple of £100, and I've been using it at home. I've got a couple of sliders, but I've never taken it out, so it's the first outing. Anyway, let's carry on. I'll show you that a bit later on. The reason for coming out into the woods today was the weather. I've got a few days where I can get a trip in, and the weather is not cooperating. It's cloudy, it's fairly windy up in the mountains. It's 30-40 mile an hour winds, cloudy, and rain up top. What I really wanted to do was go up to the Rhinogedd, I think it's pronounced, the Rhinogedd southern Snowdonia near Barmouth. That's going to be one of my next trips. But the weather's just no good. So instead I'm here in some local woodland filming bloody mushrooms. £10 points for anyone who knows what that mushroom's called. I'm definitely not going to eat it. Lens choice. Today I've gone for the 12mm Samyang f2.8. It's a fisheye lens pretty much, although on this camera, a full frame, it you know how if you have a wide angle lens on a GoPro and you've got the field of view of that on a small sensor, this with the bigger sensor gives you that, and I think that makes all the difference. So it's a fisheye technically, and it's 12mm, it's nice and wide, but you don't lose too much of the straightness, you don't get too much distortion. It's nice for shots like this through interesting trees, and in the woods, I don't know, it'll be alright. I've left my main lens at home, the 16-35, my trusty Sony Zeiss f4, which I've taken everywhere for the past couple of years. I've left it at home. I brought this, the fisheye, a 100mm macro lens, which I'll use if I see something really interesting, some nice mushrooms, an ant's nest, something like that. I've brought the 70-200 in the hope that I'll see some deer. As of yet, absolutely nothing. And I've also brought the trusty 50mm f1.4 that I use quite a lot. I'll probably keep this fisheye on the slider, I think. This is great. I'm having fun using it. It's a bit of a pain in the backside at times, keeping leaves out of the belt is a little bit tricky. I've also got a tripod mount, so I can mount it on the tripod. But one of the things that it does is shakes a little bit. So there's a little bit of vibration from the motor. Not much, it's pretty good, but there is some. And the wideness of the 12mm lens covers it up quite well. The Sony has in-body stabilization, so it's pretty good. But the 50mm, so at 12mm you don't see much, but at 50mm maybe you will, I don't know. Tell you what, I'll put it on for the next few shots, and we'll find out. Wow, she's lovely, isn't she? 50mm f1.4. It's a Sigma, one of my favourite lenses. So those shallow depth of field shots that you may have seen in previous videos were probably done with this lens. It's lovely, but no in lens stabilization, so I'll be relying completely on the camera. I think it'll be all right. I think if we get these little adjusters set correctly and we get the slider quite level and the motor is at a slow speed, it's a variable speed, I'll show you that a bit later on, but I think it'll do all right. In tests I've done at home, it's done all right, so let's go and find out. Here we go, 50mm lens. I found a nice scene that I want to shoot with me walking through it. It's these mushrooms down here. There's a tree here, and then I'm going to walk off that way, and then my filming assistant is going to collect the camera and then follow me on for the rest of the film. So f1.4, I'm not going to do that because the mushrooms are so close that the background is going to be far too blurry. So on this occasion, I'm going to go, I don't know, f5 or something. There we go, f5.6. And the background is just a little bit more, a little bit less blurry. So on this controller, turn it on. It comes up like this. There's a thumb screw here. This is a transit lock. When the slider is turned off, the transit lock needs to be on, otherwise it'll move up and down. So the motor is disengaged when this is off, which is unusual for a slider. It needs to be the other way around really, but it is what it is. So you go to this, you can set limits. You can set a left limit and a right limit, and then you can set it to do auto, to and fro. I quite often don't do that. The risk with not doing it is that you then have no end stops. So if it goes to the right, it will hit this end and then it will just slip on the belt, and eventually it'll ruin your belt. But at the speeds that I do everything pretty slow, and I set it to about 10%, 20% speed quite often. And it takes so long to get to the end that I'm not worried about it slipping. By the time I've walked 10 meters that way, 10 meters back, I will have stopped it before it hits the end stop. If anything happens to me out there, then you know, whatever, slider's the least of my worries. It can burn the belt out for all I care if I've collapsed over there having a heart attack, so whatever. But anyway, so set the camera up, set the focus up on the mushrooms. I always have the yellow peaking lines on to help me out because my eyes aren't very good. Go to here, video shot, manual mode, go left. Speed is at 2%, so I'm going to put that speed up. Let's go to 100 and go left. Stop it there. Oh, it's just fallen off the log that I put it on. Let's try that. Just rested it on a bit of a log to keep the belt off the floor. So for the shot, we'll go speed, I don't know, 20. Enter. And then we go auto mode, auto stop, and right. So off it goes. Hit record. And then walk, as you will have seen me do many times. Try to look natural. Sometimes have a look around, be quiet. Things you do. Right, that should be done. Looking at the slider, it looks like I haven't got it set fast enough, but we'll see. So my film crew usually do this bit, but I've given them the day off, so I'm having to do it all myself. And there it is. You'll see the footage shortly. And the quick verdict after looking at the in-camera video is that that is bloody awesome. I hope you'll agree, but that looked sick, as they say in the film industry. So I'm going to leave it on for a bit. I'm going to do a bit more with the 50mm, wander around and try and find somewhere to set up camp for the night. I've got a friend for the night, a little toad. So camping spot is here. Hammock went up okay. The tarp, on the other hand, is pretty poor. This is a tarp that I use for kayak camping, so it's extra long and it goes over the full length of the boat, but it's a good couple of meters longer than my hammock, so I've got it scrunched up around the tree. It'll be okay. I don't think we're going to get much rain. It's quite pleasant, a little stream, and nice and quiet. I haven't seen a soul for hours. Just a couple of dog walkers a mile back in the woods 3 or 4 hours ago. So I'm going to get some food on and turn in for the night, and see you tomorrow. Good morning. Peaceful night. First night in a hammock in quite a while, and it was alright. This hammock is troll. Comfortable. I may not look it, but I feel well rested and about as energized as I get. The fly net, mozzie net thing worked really well. No bugs came in at all. It's really comfortable. Pretty pleased with that. I think I must have got in there at about sunset, 8 p.m. and then I've just got out, just gone 7 a.m. so I should be well rested. Yeah, quite nice. Not much noise, no people, there's no one around for miles. I had this nice stream which is just underneath the tree where I set up. That nice little bit of background noise. There was no wind down here, although it did get windy up top, and the occasional stick breaking, falling down, but I could tell there's no people around, and it was really quite nice, quite relaxing. Animals wise, I saw 2 great deer last night, nice big roe deer I think, and had the complete wrong lens on. This is on the way to set up the campsite. Had the wrong lens on, I couldn't capture them. They run off as soon as they saw me. But I heard them in the night. I heard them calling, almost like that dog bark. I think it's the muntjac deer doing their dog bark thing. Had the toad rummaging around at the bottom of this tree, and that's pretty much it. Didn't hear anything else. Really quite nice. So I'm going to get a brew on now, and do a bit more filming and photography, and then head home. Brew wise is today's a bit different. I've got these coffee bags that need using, so I'm just going to dump them in the jet boil. Like so. It's not the way you should be using these. It's not. Oh, bugger. Bit of autumn leaf in there. So we're going for a mix. This is Taylor's Rich Italian number 4, and 2 of those, and Taylor's Hot Lava Java number 6. Go for 2 of those, I suppose. Should wake me up. Pop them in there like that. Turn the beast on without singeing the rest of the hair off my hands. Get that a brewing. Get caffeinated. And go from there. This is how the magic happens. Come to me. Good coffee, mate. I don't have much more to say, to be honest. I'm just gonna enjoy my brew in the woods, listen to the birds like this little chap, and get out of here. I never have much to say, to be honest. And doing these BTS bits, I don't know. I've just looked back on the GoPro this morning and talked a load of shite yesterday. So, alright, let me know, because I quite enjoyed putting them in the last one. I enjoyed putting it in on the winter camping in Snowdonia one. It seemed to go down well, but I don't know. I'm not very good at it, and I don't know. Maybe there's some value in it somewhere for someone. I don't know what it is, but quite enjoying it, and I'm hoping to get better. It's these segments like this where it becomes difficult. I don't know what to say. Just don't say anything. Let's try that. It's much better, isn't it? Not talking. I think that's why I started doing it in the first place. Look, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and see you soon. Out.